County, North Carolina in early December, damaging equipment in what local authorities called a targeted attack that cut off power to more than 45,000 people. So how is it that we are suggesting it is accidental? We have right here direct statements in the press. Extremist groups did attack our power grid. What about the train? Remember when It's Going Down, the far left extremist website, gave instructions on how to derail trains? And now trains are derailing and they're full of chemicals and they're exploding. Yeah, I don't know. Trains derail, man. They really do. So what can be said? Is it a network of terrorists that are attacking our grid? And maybe. But what can you do with this information? If it's true that there is a network of extremists sabotaging U.S. infrastructure, then, oh boy, I would argue that you should increase the amount of guns in your possession.
Weird how that works. Just suggest things and have not much behind it, but then say, gather your guns and be prepared to shoot anyone that you deem being these groups, those leftists, those Antifa types, you know, the ones that you can identify by looking at them and that they're wearing a black sweatshirt, things like that. Those things are the reasons why I guess people like Peyton Gendron, as we started the show with, go and start murdering people. Grab your guns and go to shooting. But he can say it with a complete lack of any kind of responsibility for the things that he's talking about. So let's go to this railing, the railway accidents. As we already talked about, David Sirota put forward that investigation as to how regulations were reeled back on braking systems as they carry highly toxic chemicals like the ones in Ohio. And then when those are pulled back because of political money being exchanged from those railway companies to politicians, then it happens more and more. And let's just blame Antifa without any kind of evidence. So there's another group that decided to do similar things, and they're wondering the same thing about the environmentalists that we talked about earlier, these Hodge twins. And they tweeted this out. This chemical release in Ohio looks really bad, and the media is barely talking about it. This was the day that it happened. It has been a couple days since they did tweet this, though. Where are all the climate activists at? They asked that question for a reason, Sharon, and this is my speculation, that it's also fake, that environmentalists concern themselves with water, air, pollution all the time because it's not real, but they're just trying to make some kind of money off of it. So if you want them to be there, what do you want them to do? Is this fake? Are these fake plumes of smoke and toxic chemicals in the air where wildlife is dying and things like that? Is it fake or is it real? Which side of this argument are they actually on is the question. Do you want environmentalists there to talk about it? Because they are, by the way, they are. And then if they are, then you complain that they're there talking about it. It's like it's a circular argument so you can make money off of bitching and complaining.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It's, the same reason why affirmative action is keeping, good, honest, decent white people, Asian people out of Harvard, okay? Affirmative action is the problem. And soon we will hear Alex Murdaugh say that Antifa killed his family, that they had traveled across state lines and they went up from South Carolina after killing his family to mess with the power grid. It just doesn't hold water, and it is a very profitable enterprise. It actually is. If you or I had it in us, and I don't know, maybe your bank account is swollen. I don't know, maybe you're super rich. I'm not. I'd be a lot richer if I could do this kind of thing. Just peddle it. It's endless ideas. And if you peddle it, you can get rich off of this. You really can.
And the people that'll pay you enjoy the division that you create, the chaos and anger and murder that also follow it. As a matter of fact, they don't care that you're lying because remember we talked about Antifa and how they're attacking these power grids. I think Tim Pool said so. Here's a little report on that Antifa groups that are attacking power grids. Watch.
As alleged in the complaint, Sarah Beth Clendaniel and Brandon Russell conspired to inflict maximum harm on the power grid, a key component of our critical infrastructure. The accused were not just talking, but taking steps to fulfill their threats and further their extremist goals. Russell provided instructions and location information. He described attacking the power transformers as the greatest thing somebody can do. In her own words, Clendaniel said she was determined to do this. She added, it would lay this city to waste.
There's one more. Let's watch this next side. Let's squeeze this in too, just to make sure you guys know.
Officials here say that the outages began Saturday night after 2 power substations were intentionally targeted and damaged by gunfire. This was intentional. Crews found signs of vandalism. Multiple pieces of equipment were damaged. Repairs may go on for days.
Odd how that works. Let's just come up with a whole different set of reality and tell our followers that's what it is. And also, grab your guns. Maybe shoot up a power grid, a substation, and destroy power for thousands of residents. Maybe that's what to do with the guns. Who knows? Who cares? As long as it's chaos and as long as money is still coming right back into the pockets of those that are telling folks to do so.